English idioms. Love them or hate them, they are a necessary part of the language. And so today I'm going to cover over 150 of the most common English idioms with their meanings and an example sentence so you can learn them in context. And to make your life really easy, I've put together a free super PDF so that you have all the idioms I cover and their meanings and examples as well. All you have to do to download your PDF is click on the link provided, add your name and your email address to sign up to my ESL mailing list, and I'll send the PDF to you. An idiom is a common phrase which is used colloquially, but the meaning is not immediately obvious. For example, bite the bullet. It means just do it, go for it. I'm going to share 10 common idioms with you now. Number 1, under the weather. This means to be feeling ill. I'm not coming to work today. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Number 2, the ball is in your court. This means the next action is with you. I've already given a counter offer. The ball's in your court now. Number 3, spill the beans. This means to share a secret. Come on, Sally, spill the beans. Did you two kiss or what? Number 4, you're pulling my leg. This means to play a joke on someone or to suggest someone is playing a joke on you. No, there's no way I've won the lottery. You're pulling my leg. Number 5, take it with a pinch of salt. This means to not believe it fully. I'd take those numbers with a pinch of salt though. You know polls are not always accurate. Number 6, you can say that again. This means to agree on the trueness of something. Usually we only hear this, we wouldn't write this. We need this launch to work or the business will fail.
You can say that again.
Number 7, see eye to eye. This means to agree. James and Stuart are always arguing. They never see eye to eye on anything. Number 8, to beat around the bush. This means to not get to the point, you're just talking around it. Oh, Juan doesn't half beat around the bush. He never just makes a quick point. Number 9, to miss the boat. To miss the boat means to miss an opportunity. I always wanted to go to the concert, but I missed the boat and now the tickets are sold out. Number 10, by the skin of your teeth. This means you've only just achieved something. Whoo! The team won that game by the skin of their teeth. My heart. Oh, have you got a few minutes of free time? Rather than killing time playing games, let's have a whale of a time learning 30 time-related idioms. These are phrases that are used in everyday situations, formal and informal, so it's good to be familiar with them. Number 1, it's high time. This phrase can be used to say that it's time to do something that should have happened a long time ago. You've been struggling with your maths homework for months. It's high time we got you a tutor. Number 2, against the clock. If you're doing something against the clock, then you're doing it as quickly as possible in order to meet a deadline. Oh, the party guests will arrive at 6 p.m, so we're working against the clock to get everything ready in time. Quick! Number 3, the 11th hour. If something happens at the 11th hour, that means it happens at the last possible moment. I found that question really difficult, but I remembered the answer at the 11th hour, just before the exam finished. Phew! Number 4, to make up for lost time. To do something faster or more often in order to compensate for not having done it quickly enough or often enough is known as making up for lost time. Many of us, because of the pandemic, are now making up for lost time because of all the things we've missed. We didn't get to see our family much last year, so this year I hope to make up for lost time and spend lots of time with them. Number 5, in the nick of time. To do something in the nick of time means to do it just in time. Whew, we almost missed the train, but we got here just in the nick of time. Oh, that was close. Number 6, the ship has sailed. We use this phrase informally to discuss an opportunity which has passed or a situation which can no longer be changed. I thought about running the marathon this year, but I haven't done any training, so that ship has sailed. Number 7, around the clock. If something is done around the clock, then it's done all day and all night without stopping. Oh yes, we have around the clock security. Nobody's getting into this place. Number 8, to call it a day. This means to decide to stop doing something, either permanently or for a while, depending on the context. I'm too tired to finish my homework. I'm going to call it a day and I'll finish it tomorrow. Number 9, in the blink of an eye. If something happens in the blink of an eye, then it happens very quickly, just like a blink. A calculator can solve a maths problem in the blink of an eye. Oh! Number 10, to kill time. This phrase is used informally and it means to spend time doing something unimportant, particularly when waiting for something else. Yes, we'll go shopping at the airport to kill time before the flight. Number 11, like clockwork. If something happens like clockwork, then it happens very smoothly and easily. Ah, the presentation ran like clockwork. Everyone was very happy. Number 12, on the dot. This is an informal phrase which means exactly on time. She starts work at 9 a.m. on the dot, not 9:03. Number 13, to do time or to serve time. This is a colloquial term meaning to be in prison. He's doing time for money laundering. Number 14, to turn back time. To turn back time means to recreate, remember, or imagine things as they were before. Oh, I like to reminisce while looking through old photographs, but I do wish I could just turn back time. Number 15, to have a whale of a time. This means to have a brilliant time, to really enjoy oneself. Ah, I had a whale of a time learning to ski until I broke my leg. Number 16, to lose track of time. To lose track of time means to be unaware of how much time has passed, or to not be sure of what time it is. Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I totally lost track of the time. Sorry. Number 17, free time. Free time refers to time available for hobbies and activities you enjoy. In my free time, I like to play football. What do you like to do? Number 18, spur of the moment. Something done in the spur of the moment is done impulsively, without planning in advance. We aren't going to Argentina now. Instead, we're going to Switzerland. Don't ask me why, it was a spur of the moment decision. Number 19, behind the times. If something is behind the times, then it's not using the latest technology, ideas, or techniques. It could also be referred to as out of date. This library is so behind the times. They don't even have a computer. Shh. Number 20, to hit the big time. This is an idiomatic phrase which means to become very successful or famous. She hit the big time and got a part in a very successful film after years of hard work. Number 21, hour of need. An hour of need is the time when most help is needed. Thank you so much for helping us in our hour of need. Number 22, a laugh a minute. You could use this phrase to describe someone who is very funny. Oh, John's great. He's a laugh a minute. So funny. Number 23, like there's no tomorrow. To do something like there's no tomorrow means to do it in a quick or careless way without considering the future. He is spending money like there's no tomorrow. Number 24. Long time no see. This is informally used as a greeting to mean it's been a long time since we last met. Hey, Christopher! Long time no see! Number 25. A mile a minute. If something is happening a mile a minute, then it's happening at a very fast pace. I can barely understand Connor because he talks a mile a minute. Number 26. Now and then. If something happens now and then it happens occasionally. I don't see her much, but we go out for coffee now and then. Number 27. The moment of truth. This is a time when a person or a thing is tested. A decision has to be made or a crisis has to be faced. This is a moment of truth. Grace has spent hours baking the perfect cake and now it is the moment of truth. Time to taste it. Number 28. To have too much time on one's hands. To have too much time on your hands means to have a lot of extra time. We often use this phrase to describe someone who is engaged in unhelpful or useless activities. She is such a gossip. She obviously has far too much time on her hands. Number 29. Once in a blue moon. This means it rarely happens. I don't speak to my old uni mates these days. I mean, Fernando will call me for a catch-up once in a blue moon, but apart from that, we've all lost touch. And number 30. Donkey's years. Donkey's years is an informal way of saying a long time. Adam and I have been friends for donkey's years. Whew. It is getting hot in here. The temperature in London is soaring, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity for me to teach you 5 very hot English phrases, plus an extra tasty little treat at the very end if you stay all the way through. Here's the first one, hot off the press. If something is hot off the press, then it means it's news just in. It's just happened. You need to hear it because no one else is talking about it. It's hot off the press. The second super hot phrase is to blow hot and cold. This means to alternate between 2 different states. For example, somebody might be very happy, friendly, warm and welcoming one moment, and then completely the opposite the other. They might be distant, maybe a little angry. They might seem like they don't like you at all the next. They are blowing hot and cold, and it's very hard to know where you stand with someone who blows hot and cold. For example, imagine we have just started working together and on the first day I come to you and say, "Hi, I'm so happy that you're working here. We're going to be best friends. Why don't you take the space next to me? Sit with me, we'll work together. Oh, and we should have lunch together today. See you soon." And the next day it's more like, "Oh, you're sitting next to me, are you? I think you should move to the other side of the office and I can't do lunch with you today. No, I'm really busy." I'm blowing hot and cold. Super hot phrase number 3. Strike while the iron is hot. To strike while the iron is hot means to act when the conditions are most favourable. So take the opportunity when you have the chance. For example, let's imagine you want to buy a house and suddenly there's a big change in the economy and the housing market crashes and houses are suddenly very, very cheap. And even though you've not been sure if you want to commit to buying a house, now is a good time to act. So you should strike while the iron is hot. Super hot phrase number 4. To get into hot water or to be in hot water. If you're in hot water, then I'm afraid, tut tut tut, this means you are in trouble. So imagine you've been married for 10 years and you forget it's your wedding anniversary and you decide to go out for some drinks after work with your work friends and forget all about your lovely partner sat at home. You can guarantee that by the time you get back, you are going to be in very hot water. Whew, call the fire brigade, it is getting far too hot. With super hot phrase number 5. I have had more something, replace that with whatever you like, than you've had hot dinners. To have something more than you've had hot dinners means that your experience is greater than the other person. So in this case, I'm saying my experience in something is greater than yours. Let's imagine my sentence is, I've had more internet stalkers than you've had hot dinners, which, let's face it, is probably true. That means I've had more internet stalkers than you have. What would your sentence be? What have you had more than I've had hot dinners? Put it down in the comments box below. And finally, before I spontaneously combust, that means burst into flames because I'm so hot, let's do the final one. Super hot phrase number 6. And she's forgotten. It is to be hot under the collar. If you are getting hot under the collar, it means that you're becoming emotional. Usually it means you're becoming embarrassed or angry. Oh, I'm getting a little hot under the collar, or oh, I'm getting a little hot under the collar. Okay? So there you go, 6 super hot phrases for you to use this summer while the temperatures soar. And I did promise a bonus. I have the hots for you. What does that mean? It means that I fancy you, I'm attracted to you. So tell me in the comments box below, who do you have the hots for? Do you dare share that secret? Idioms. We have countless idioms in the English language, so once again I've broken it down by category, and today we're going to be learning 20 of the most commonly used weather-related idioms. These are phrases that most native speakers will use often and without much thought, but really they're not that self-explanatory. So they take a little bit of explaining, and that's what we're going to learn about today. The first idiom is to brighten up. To brighten up means to become more cheerful. Now, brighten up is a separable phrasal verb, which means that you can put the object in the middle of those two words, the object that's being brightened up. For example, let's brighten this room up. The second idiom is to take a shine to. To take a shine to something means to develop a liking for it. Philip has taken a shine to Yorkshire tea over Tetley tea. The third idiom is to chase rainbows. To chase rainbows means to pursue something that is impossible or very unlikely. Georgia wants to be a famous singer, but with that voice, she's chasing rainbows. The fourth idiom is to save it for a rainy day. To save something for a rainy day means to keep it aside for a time when it might be needed in the future. I won some money on the lottery, so I'm going to save it for a rainy day. The fifth idiom is right as rain. If someone is right as rain, that means they are well, fit and healthy. Yesterday I was unwell, but today I feel right as rain. The sixth idiom is to take a rain check. To take a rain check is more of an American phrase, which we're beginning to see more and more of in British English, and it means to cancel or refuse something with an intention of doing it another time. Hey, are we still going for coffee later? Oh, let's take a rain check. Maybe next week. The seventh idiom is to weather the storm. To weather the storm means to survive through difficulties. I had a really difficult month, but I told myself to weather the storm and everything is finally back to normal. The eighth idiom is to rain on someone's parade. To rain on someone's parade means to stop them from enjoying themselves or to ruin their plans. I don't want to rain on your parade, but you're being so loud. Please could you be quieter? The ninth idiom is to shoot the breeze. To shoot the breeze means to have an informal, chat. Hey, do you want to go for a walk and shoot the breeze? The 10th idiom is to catch wind of something. To catch wind of something means to hear a rumour about it. Now, the 11th idiom is to throw caution to the wind. To throw caution to the wind means to take a risk. I need to just throw caution to the wind and tell him how I feel. The 12th idiom is storm on the horizon. If there is a storm on the horizon, that means that there is a problem approaching. Francis keeps getting into trouble at school, so I think there might be a storm on the horizon. The 13th idiom is every cloud has a silver lining. This is a phrase we use to express that there is something good that comes out of every bad or difficult situation. Lockdown has been really stressful for everyone, but I have had a chance to spend lots more time with my family, so I guess every cloud has a silver lining. The 14th idiom is on cloud nine. If someone is on cloud nine, then they are in a state of overwhelming happiness. I got the job. I feel so lucky. I'm on cloud nine. The 15th idiom is to have your head in the clouds. Now, if someone has their head in the clouds, that means that they're being unrealistic or impractical. A bit of a dreamer and not very down to earth. Oh, Grace is a lovely girl, but she does have her head in the clouds. The 16th idiom is to not have the foggiest. This means that you're not sure about something, you don't have an idea or a clue about it. You might say, I don't have the foggiest, or I haven't the foggiest, or I haven't got the foggiest. Could you help me with directions, please? I haven't the foggiest where I am. The 17th idiom is under the weather. If you're under the weather, that means you're feeling unwell. I'm going to stay at home today as I'm a bit under the weather. The 18th idiom is the calm before the storm. This means a moment of quiet or stability before difficult or busy times. Those moments before the shop opened were the calm before the storm. The 19th idiom is to break the ice. To break the ice means to do or say something to relieve tension or to break a silence. It was really awkward when we first met, but it didn't take long to break the ice. And finally, the 20th idiom is face like thunder. If someone has a face like thunder, it means that their face looks very unhappy or very angry. This is not very polite, so only use it in informal situations. Oh, I knew she was very annoyed with me because she had a face like thunder. To catch someone red-handed is to discover someone in the act of doing something wrong. For example, if the police found a robber still holding the bag that he has stolen, you could say, they caught him red-handed. Or, if a mother walked into the kitchen at night to find her son with chocolate cake all over his face, you might say, aha, I've caught you red-handed. Grey area. A grey area is an ill-defined, unclear situation which does not have an obvious answer or outcome. It's not black or white. Oh, that's another idiom, meaning it's not clear. It's a grey area. For example, if I use a clip from a movie in this video to illustrate an educational point, is that copyright infringement? It's not clear. It's a bit of a grey area. To give the green light. This means to give permission for someone to do something or for something to happen. For example, a parent could give the green light for their child to start a new club or to go on a school trip. Go on, Sonny! In the red. If a person or a company is in the red, That means they've spent more money than they have, and now they owe money to the bank. I can't sleep at night, not now that we're in the red. Once in a blue moon. If something happens once in a blue moon, it happens very rarely. For example, we go on holiday once in a blue moon. It doesn't mean never, it just means not often. Out of the blue. If something happens out of the blue, then it is completely unexpected. For example, oh, my brother arrived out of the blue. So his brother was completely unexpected. Red tape. Red tape refers to rules or boundaries that prevent or slow down something you're trying to achieve. For example, it took me ages to get a working visa because of all the red tape. Rose-tinted glasses. To look at something through rose-tinted glasses means to think of it with a positive bias. Perhaps only seeing or paying attention to the good things. For example, I have lots of fond memories of school. I can't remember the bad parts. I suppose I look back at it through rose-tinted glasses. To show one's true colours. To show one's true colours means to reveal the kind of person you really are. This could be used in a positive way. For example, Nicole was so patient with the children. She really showed her true colours. Or in a negative way. For example, I can't believe Nicole betrayed you. She has really shown her true colours. Golden opportunity. This is an excellent chance to do something that is likely to be successful or rewarding. For example, going to Oxford University is a golden opportunity, or being invited to go to a place you've always wanted to go to is a golden opportunity. White lie. A white lie is a lie about a small or unimportant matter that someone tells to avoid hurting another person. For example, it was a bit of a white lie. I told her I couldn't go to her party, but really, I just didn't want to. To pass with flying colours. To pass something with flying colours means to do it very successfully. For example, if you get top marks in an exam, you could say you've passed with flying colours. See red. To see red means to become very angry. For example, when I realised he'd been lying, I saw red. Blue colour. This phrase refers to the collar on a labourer's uniform and is typically used to refer to people who work in manual labour such as agriculture, manufacturing and construction. In context, you could say, he's got a new blue-collar job as an electrician. White collar. This refers to an office worker or someone whose profession does not require manual labour. In context, you could say, he's got a new white-collar job as a lawyer. A red flag. A red flag is a sign of a problem which requires attention. For example, the fact that no one seemed to enjoy working there was a red flag. This means that it's a sign that should be paid attention to. You probably won't enjoy working somewhere if everyone who works there doesn't enjoy their job. Red letter day. A red letter day is a special or memorable occasion. For example, when Francesca returns from her 2-year trip, it'll be a red letter day. Although I will just add that red letter day is probably now falling out of fashion as we don't really send letters anymore. Next, to paint the town red. This means to party or celebrate in a rowdy or wild manner, particularly in a public place such as a nightclub or bar. You could say, for my birthday, we'll paint the town red, which just means we'll party. Next, to roll out the red carpet. This means to welcome someone with special treatment. For example, when she gets home from the hospital, we'll roll out the red carpet. Meaning we'll take extra good care of her. This refers to the red carpet that celebrities and VIPs walk on to get to award ceremonies or premieres. It indicates a mark of respect and good care. Bringing me on to my next one, red carpet treatment. Along the same lines as the last one, but it's not about only welcoming someone when they first arrive somewhere. To give someone the red carpet treatment is to treat them as if they are special and important. For example, at this hotel, we give all of our guests the red carpet treatment. Now let's get to work. To get back to or put your nose to the grindstone. The grindstone. This means to return to or start a hard, tedious task. Ugh. Right, that's my break over. I better get back to the grindstone. To be on a roll. This means experiencing a period of success or good luck. Yeah, we signed up 2 new clients last week and 4 new clients this week with 3 more in the pipeline. We are on a roll. Be snowed under. To be snowed under means to be overwhelmed with a very large quantity of work or commitments. Oh, I am so sorry I missed the teachers' meeting today. With the exams around the corner and several members of staff self-isolating, I'm completely snowed under at the moment. To bend over backwards. This means to work extra hard to help someone or to make them happy. I don't understand why he continues to bend over backwards for Julia. She doesn't appreciate it. Blood, sweat and tears. If something needs blood, sweat and tears, then it's a hard thing to do or requires a lot of effort. We spent 15 years building this business. It took blood, sweat and tears to make it what it is today. Burning a candle at both ends. This means to work too hard as well as trying to do other things. My boss had a nervous breakdown last month. It's not surprising. He was burning the candle at both ends for many months. Get cracking. This means to get started on a project or task. Right, do we all know what we're supposed to be doing? Great, then let's get cracking. Give it 110%. This means to try really hard to achieve something. I know you are all tired, it's really hot outside and you would rather be relaxing in the shade eating ice cream, but today is a very important day for our school, so I want you to get out there and give it 110%. To go the extra mile. This means to do more than what is expected to make something happen or help someone. We have decided to promote Nick. He went the extra mile for us during the pandemic and really showed us his commitment. Hang in there. This means don't give up. Keep going through the hard times. The next few months will be hard for all of us. Just hang in there. Things will improve. Jump through hoops. This means to go through an elaborate or complicated procedure in order to achieve an objective. We are in the process of applying for a mortgage, but we have to jump through so many hoops. To knuckle down or buckle down. This means to focus and work diligently on a task or problem. If you all knuckle down and do your revision between now and the exams, then you will pass with flying colours. To make up for lost time. This means to do something as much as possible because you were not able to do it before, like to catch up. I haven't seen my family for over 2 years, so we're going to go on holiday together. We really need to make up for lost time. To move mountains. This means to make every possible effort, doing the impossible if needed. Trust me, I will move mountains to make sure that you are satisfied with your new branding. No pain, no gain. This means suffering is necessary in order to achieve something. The athletes are complaining about having to train on a Sunday, but no pain, no gain. To pull one's own weight. This means to do your fair share of work that a group of people are doing together. James, you have taken a lot of time off this month, and when you have been in, you haven't done very much work. We are all working hard to reach our deadline, so we need you to start pulling your own weight. Otherwise, we will have to let you go. To raise the bar. This means to raise the standards which need to be met in order to qualify for something. Oh, Apple have really raised the bar with their latest iPhone. To stay ahead of the game. This means to react quickly and gain or keep an advantage. Okay, we're changing our marketing strategy. Advertising will now include TikTok. We must stay ahead of the game. To stay the course. This means to keep going strongly to the end of a race or contest or task. We've been working with this client for 12 months on this project, and we plan to stay the course and get the job done. To take the bull by the horns. This means to deal decisively with a difficult or dangerous situation. I've asked him several times, but he just ignores me. I must take the bull by the horns and just tell my landlord that I'm moving out unless he fixes the central heating. We use so many idioms in our day-to-day life, and many of them are animal related. So we're going to focus on idioms which are animal-based today. The first idiom is fly on the wall. To be a fly on the wall means to be unnoticed while watching or listening to something. Oh, they're discussing the argument now. I'd love to be a fly on the wall so I could hear what they're saying. The second idiom is bee's knees. If something is the bee's knees, that means it is excellent and of the highest quality. You could also say someone is the bee's knees. This chocolate cake is the bee's knees. You have to try it. The third idiom is to make a beeline for something. To make a beeline for something means to move towards it quickly and with purpose. I've wanted to meet Harry for ages, so as soon as I saw him, I made a beeline for him. The fourth idiom is to kill two birds with one stone. To kill two birds with one stone means to accomplish two tasks or objectives at once. I wanted to try out the new restaurant, and I haven't seen Justine in ages, so I've booked a table for us both, and it'll kill two birds with one stone. The fifth idiom is sitting duck. A sitting duck is an easy target, something or someone which is vulnerable to attack. If we leave the shop doors unlocked, it'll be a sitting duck. The sixth idiom is to chicken out. To chicken out of something means to back out of it because you're feeling scared or worried about it. James was going to go on the roller coaster, but he chickened out at the last minute because he was just so scared. Number 7 on our list is a wild goose chase. A wild goose chase is a pointless task, particularly one that involves travel. She sent me to the supermarket to buy socks, but they don't even sell socks, so it was simply a wild goose chase. The 8th idiom is to take a bull by its horns. This means to face a problem directly. You take the bull by the horns. Sometimes you might hear someone say to grab a bull by its horns, which means the same thing. I hate confrontation, but I'm so angry that I'm going to have to take the bull by its horns and tell her. The 9th idiom is to horse around. To horse around means to act in a way that is silly and playful and sometimes noisy. Will you please stop horsing around? I'm trying to concentrate. The 10th idiom is until the cows come home. Until the cows come home means for a long, possibly even never-ending length of time. It's usually used when talking about something that you could do for a long time because you enjoy it. I could sit here and read until the cows come home, but unfortunately, I've got work to do. Boo. The 11th idiom is a dark horse. A dark horse is somebody who is surprisingly good at something that you might not expect them to be. This could be used to describe someone in a competition who places much higher than expected, or someone who surprises you with their skill that you didn't know they had. Wow, Beth, you're a dark horse. I didn't know you could bake so well. The 12th idiom is hold your horses. To hold your horses means wait. Hello. Brilliant, you're home. I've been wanting to talk to you about... Hold your horses. I've only been here for 2 seconds. The 13th idiom is straight from the horse's mouth. If you hear something straight from the horse's mouth, that means you're hearing it from the source, from somebody who has direct or personal experience. I don't usually pay attention to gossip, but I heard it straight from the horse's mouth. The 14th idiom is in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I love this one. In 2 shakes of a lamb's tail means in a very short amount of time. I'll be back with a cup of tea in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The 15th idiom is to go the whole hog. To go the whole hog means to really commit to something and to take it as far as possible. I mean, most people in the office don't celebrate Halloween, but Anna goes the whole hog every year. The 16th idiom is the cat's pajamas. Similar to the bee's knees, if something or someone is the cat's pajamas, that means they're the best. My last teacher wasn't very good, but my new one is great. She's the cat's pajamas. The 17th idiom, to let the cat out of the bag. To let the cat out of the bag means to reveal a secret. This could be accidentally or it could be on purpose. Right, I think it's time to let the cat out of the bag. I'm pregnant. The 18th idiom is cat's got your tongue. This is a question, normally, that you might ask someone who is unusually quiet. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The 19th idiom is raining cats and dogs. I think most people know this one. If someone says it's raining cats and dogs, that means it's raining very heavily outside. I wanted to go for a run this afternoon, but it's raining cats and dogs outside. I think I'll have to go tomorrow instead. The 20th idiom is to let sleeping dogs lie. To let sleeping dogs lie means to leave a situation alone, to not interfere, so that you don't cause any unnecessary trouble. I am so angry. I'm going to just call her right now and argue with her. Wait a minute, don't you think it might be better just to let sleeping dogs lie? Number 21 is in the doghouse. To be in the doghouse means to be in trouble or disgraced. Usually because you've upset or angered somebody with something you've done or not done. He forgot his girlfriend's birthday, so he's in the doghouse. Number 22 is dog eat dog. Dog eat dog is a phrase that we use to describe an environment which is very competitive to an extent where people are prepared to harm one another, not physically, but metaphorically, maybe in a business sense. They're willing to harm one another to win. Yeah, I hate working in that office because it's dog eat dog in there. Everybody tries to make each other look bad, to make themselves look better. Number 23 is ants in your pants. If you have ants in your pants, that means you are restless and moving around a lot. Usually because you're nervous or excited, or you just can't sit still because you're bored and you want to get doing things. As a child, I was often told I had ants in my pants because I couldn't sit still. Wow, you've got ants in your pants today. Yeah, I'm just so nervous about this job interview. I just can't sit still. Number 24, to smell a rat. Ooh. To smell a rat means to be suspicious of a lie or something underhanded going on. She said she couldn't come to my birthday party because she had other plans, but I smell a rat. Number 25 is simply fishy. Or you could say something fishy is going on. If something is fishy, then that means it's suspicious. There's something fishy going on in that office. Something's not quite right with their numbers. The 26th idiom is to have bigger fish to fry. If you have bigger fish to fry, then that means you have more important or better things to do. Don't worry about the invitations. You have bigger fish to fry. You need to find a venue. The 27th idiom is another kettle of fish. If something is another kettle of fish or a whole other kettle of fish, then that means it is something entirely different to what's being discussed. Look, I'm just so stressed because we're moving house and it's all changing so quickly. And how's your mum? Oh, that's a whole other kettle of fish. The 28th idiom is crocodile tears. Crocodile tears are fake tears. For example, if someone is pretending to cry or has forced themselves to cry to gain something like sympathy. I know they're just crocodile tears. He doesn't actually care about me. The 29th idiom is elephant in the room. An elephant in the room is something obvious and uncomfortable which has not been discussed. It's like everyone's ignoring this huge problem. The elephant in the room. Obviously, I know that he said horrible things about me, but I didn't mention it, so there's this elephant in the room. And finally, the 30th idiom is to have the lion's share. To have or to get the lion's share of something means to have the largest amount of something. As the main character in Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe definitely gets the lion's share of praise, but I think all the other actors are just as good. Right, 20 money idioms coming up. There are many more which are not on the list, so if you can think of one that I don't mention, please leave it in the comments and we can all learn together. Let's get started. A penny for your thoughts. I love this phrase. This is a question, which means, what are you thinking about? If someone looks confused, you might ask them, a penny for your thoughts? Number 2, to cost a pretty penny. If something costs a pretty penny, then that means it's very expensive. So if you say, I love your dress, I might say, yeah, but it costs a pretty penny. Then you know that I've spent a lot of money on it. The next is a quick buck. A quick buck. Money which is easy to make is basically the meaning. So if something is a very easy way to make money, then you say, oh, it's a quick buck. Another example is if you sell something you own, it's really easy to sell, then you can say, oh, that was a quick buck, or I just made a quick buck. Woohoo! The next phrase is daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. This describes an obviously unfair overcharging. So a good example would be a cinema selling a can of lemonade for £3 when you could buy it for 70p from the corner shop. You could consider that daylight robbery. Number 5, from rags to riches. From rags to riches. This means from poverty to wealth. From poverty to wealth. We hear this saying about celebrities who come from a poverty-stricken background but now have lots of money. They are now wealthy. They went from rags to riches. Number 6, I don't have 2 pennies to rub together. This is a colloquial phrase which means I'm very poor. I don't have much money at all. I don't even have 2 pennies to rub together. Number 7, if I had a penny for every time this happened, I'd be rich. Now this phrase can be used to describe something that happens a lot. For example, you could say, if I had a penny for every time you were late, I'd be rich. You can adjust this phrase to be a pound. If I had a pound for every time I stubbed my toe on the door, I'd be very rich. It just means, oh, this happens a lot. Okay, number 8. Money doesn't grow on trees. This is a saying that means money is not easy to acquire. It doesn't grow on trees. You have to earn it. You often hear parents saying this to their children when their children ask for something or want to waste their money and come to mum and dad saying, I need more money to waste on something, and say, look, money doesn't grow on trees. I can't give you this money. You have to earn it. Number 9, to be on the money. Now this means to be correct about something or someone. For example, you could say, I had an instinct that we should hire her and I was on the money, meaning that she was a good choice to hire. For example, you could say, I had an instinct that we should hire her and I was on the money, meaning that you made the right choice. This person was the right person to hire. You were on the money. Number 10, 2 sides of the same coin. This means 2 people with a shared goal but opposing views. So, for example, you could say, I thought we should buy mum flowers, but my sister said we should buy her chocolates. So we're on 2 sides of the same coin. We both want to buy mum something, but we want to do it in different ways. Number 11, strapped for cash. Strapped for cash. To be strapped for cash means to be short of money. For example, that restaurant looks lovely, but I'm a bit strapped for cash at the moment. Could we go somewhere cheaper? Number 12, 10 a penny. 10 a penny. If something is 10 a penny, it means it's very common. The Americanized version of this phrase would be a dime a dozen. A dime a dozen, and that's in American English. Number 13, to cut one's losses. If you cut your losses, it means that you abandon a plan or a project which is clearly going to be unsuccessful before the situation becomes worse. For example, it started raining as soon as we went outside for the barbecue, so we decided to cut our losses and have a takeaway instead. Number 14, to earn a living. To earn a living. This basically means to make enough money to live comfortably. For example, he earns a living by selling his art. How do you earn your living? Sometimes you might hear make a living as well. To make a living. I need to make a living. We all need to make a living. Number 15, to feel the pinch. To feel the pinch. This is to experience financial hardship. So for example, Christmas is expensive, so it is common to feel the pinch in January. Number 16, to foot the bill. To foot the bill. This means to pay for everyone, to pay the entire bill. For example, it's Johnny's birthday, so I'll foot the bill. My treat. Number 17, to give someone a run for their money. This means to be a challenging competitor. For example, Florence is a good baker, but Joe could give her a run for her money. Joe is just as good, and actually he might be better. Okay, number 18. To have the penny drop. So you'd say, oh, the penny's just dropped, or the penny dropped. This means to finally realise or understand something. For example, I used to find playing guitar really difficult, but now the penny has dropped. Now I've got it. It's much easier to learn. Continuing with pennies, we might want to spend a penny. To spend a penny. This is an interesting one because it means something very different to what you would expect. To spend a penny means to go to the toilet. It's very British, a polite way of saying it. Excuse me, I'm just going to spend a penny. Some people might consider this old-fashioned, but it's widely known and in some cases still used, so it's good to be aware of. The next one is your 2 cents. 2 cents. This is your opinion. So you could give your 2 cents or put your 2 cents in. And that means just to give your opinion about something. So imagine you're sat in a meeting and they're discussing something that you have an idea about. You might say, oh, can I just put my 2 cents in? I think this.